So Molly, I am super grateful to be able to have you at the studio today.
Well, first of all, I just want to say thank you for having me here. That's huge.
I got an email from you February of this year, and it was from this young woman who had a relationship with remedylive years ago. And my mind is thinking, why did you send that email to us this year?
I sent that email to you because I had just become an EMT, and I realized that I was helping people and that I wouldn't even be in the position to help people if I wasn't here. And also a memory on my Snapchat popped up, and it was a picture of the night that one of your soul medics saved my life. And I just knew that I had to reach out to you guys because without Remedy, I do not think I would be here. I was at a place where I didn't really know what was going on in life, and I was going through some struggles. And I hopped on Google, and then I saw the ad for Soul Medic, and I was like, that sounds interesting. So I clicked on that, and immediately just the website was different. You could tell there was just something so different about this organization.
How many years ago was that from today?
That was back when I was 16, so...
It was a minute.
It was a good, it was a good 5 years ago, maybe 5-6 years ago.
So a lot went on in your life prior to us meeting you for the first time at 16 at remedylive. Tell me about those teen years and what you went through from 10 to 19, especially when it came to the abuses you sustained.
Well, starting at 10 years old, I started going to this new church, and unfortunately, a boy that was a few years older than me started sexually assaulting me, molesting me, and raping me behind closed doors, and everyone was just so blind to it at that church, and it really just messed with my mind as a 10-year-old child, even trying to understand what half of the stuff being done to me even was. And trying to grow in faith while all of that was going on was just very difficult. And getting out of that situation, it took me a while, but I started to grow in faith again. I started to find myself. But then unfortunately, I got into another abusive relationship when I was about 17, 18 years old, and I started getting assaulted and abused again every day. And even if you're in a relationship with someone, they never have the right to force you into anything. Just because you're dating them, that is still rape, and it still hurts, and it still messes with your mind and makes you feel like you're not good enough, and it really makes it hard for you to grow as a woman and to grow in faith and find out what you want to do with your life.
So you're in an abusive relationship, and you know Remedy has helped you in the past. This is a very controlling relationship you're in now, but somehow you muster the courage to reach out again to us. Take us back to that.
I remember that night he actually left, and he was cheating on me at the time. So I was alone, he wasn't there, and I knew he wasn't going to be home for several hours, and I saw that as my opportunity to reach out to Remedy again. And just because this place has done so much for me, I knew that I could get some prayer that really meant something, and I guess I just kind of wanted my final prayer from Remedy. And I logged in, and immediately they knew something was wrong and started talking to me and made me realize that I was worthy and that I deserved to live and I deserved to be loved. And that was the night that I realized that, and I packed up what I could in a little suitcase and I left, and I got out of that relationship.
That's amazing. You were on a road to suicide, and Asher was able to help you get enough courage to, rather than leave life, leave that abusive relationship. Praise God. What memories come like flooding back even now as you think about that season of your life compared to who you are today?
I think about a lot of the hurt I went through, and you can let hurt destroy you as a person, or you can let it strengthen you. And because of Remedy and because of my faith and my job as an EMT, I've started using this pain and this hurt that I've been through to strengthen me as a person. And Asher saving me that night truly gave me a second chance of life, and I would not be here without that right now.
Mm-hmm. What would you want to say to Asher if she were here?
I would thank her for everything she's ever done for me. She is the reason that I'm still alive. She's the reason that I'm doing everything that I'm doing.
Would you like to meet her?
I would, yeah.
She's here. Asher, would you come out for us?
Hello.
Hi.
Can I have a hug?
Yes.
Oh, it's so good to meet you.
Good to meet you
too.
Oh my goodness, this is so crazy.
It really is. Oh my gosh.
I would not be sitting here talking to you if like you hadn't chatted to me when you did. I don't know if you know, but one of the nights that I chatted into you, you impacted me so much that I honestly wanted to log in and say goodbye to you. I had a plan to take my life, and just the way that you started talking to me when I logged in, and the way that you asked me questions about things that had been going on in my life, and I'm like, oh my gosh, she's actually paying attention to everything that I'm telling her, and like you remembered things that I went through when we first started chatting, and just knowing that someone cared and feeling that, you changed my life so much that night. Instead of taking my own life and not being around anymore, you made me realize that I could get out of the situations that were hurting me and wanting me to take my own life.
That's so awesome. That's such a blessing to hear. That is so cool. I love how Jesus wants to love you, and so that's my role in life, and that's what I want to do for people, and I'm so glad that I could do it for you, because I mean, like, talking to you and stuff, it's like I don't know exactly what you're going through. I just know like what you're telling me, but I don't know how your heart is or how you're feeling. So I'm just doing what God's telling me to do, which is loving you and talking to you and making you feel validated and like you deserve to live. And so to hear that it actually came through and that God was able to be there with you is so empowering, and I'm just so thankful that God was able to use me and to love you in that situation.
Without you, I would not be here. The impact that you've had on my life was huge, and I cannot thank you enough. Because of you, I'm alive, and I'm out there as an EMT saving lives and impacting other people's lives. And the fact that you helped me stay alive to live out my dream that I'm living out now is huge, and I can't thank you enough.
Yeah, you're welcome, and thank you. Thank you just for being you, and I'm glad I could have a relationship with you.